let me know. Do you have any specific questions or anything you want help with?
Yeah, let me just kind of, since I'm the only one, let me get you up to speed on where I'm at. So the new year has been wonderful for us. We're pushing, I think, in the neighborhood of 60 LBOs for our 6-week challenge, which is really, really good. But I'm definitely facing a great deal of overwhelm. But the thing that I've been able to implement is in-house signage, and then getting a charity partner picked out and getting my clients on board with that. So this is going really well because it fit right into what we were doing. We have 2 facilities. One of them's in a really small town, and they just very recently, last year, one of our members, her daughter was suffering from cancer, and she passed. And this is really gripping on our members. I mean, the day that her funeral happened, nobody came to my gym.
Wow.
So we've always been in support of that. Now we've already been doing check-ins for a year. We keep a sticker chart by the front door, and they put up little, like in the classroom, they put up their stickers. I've always had a hard time keeping that going through the year. It doesn't look like that's going to be a problem this time. Check-ins go right in hand with the charity that everybody believes in. They're super excited. What TRC has done with just like the small bit of implementation I've been able to get, it's allowed me to take my normal campaigns and my normal programs, and now we're in a place where it's like a death grip because all of our members, they're tagging, they're posting, they're putting selfies of themselves, and it's just so easy for us to do because it's a cause everybody believes in. That being said, I need help. Probably the biggest part now is the next step in implementation. So I feel like we want to get these people properly onboarded with your TRC system as opposed to what we just do now, which is getting them into the program. But I don't have any sort of local business connections. So I need to start making those, and then I need to find a way to get this in the hands of all my members and my new signups without killing myself doing it.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Well, it's good to meet you, brother. I will say that first of all, because I see your name and I see you on the Facebook and stuff like that, but it's nice to finally put a face to the name and actually meet you. And I'm glad to hear that things are rocking and rolling with your business and going well. And I really appreciate the feedback, as does Aaron on TRC. That's what we just need that. I mean, just like every business owner, you just crave that feedback. You want to know that what you're doing is having an impact. So thank you for that. Now, to your question regarding onboarding, 2 things. First of all, about the business, creating business relationships. That we're about to roll that out, that piece next week on Tuesday, and it's freaking beautiful. So it will simplify the process for you of finding and creating those relationships so that you can begin, leveraging them to help grow your business. So we'll help you with that. But one question I have for you is, do you have, out of all your clients, are any of them business owners, local business owners?
Most certainly. We definitely have a power base here in our own members. So that's where I want to look to start, I think.
No doubt. That's the first place to start for sure, because you've already got that relationship established with them. But we'll walk you through the entire process beginning next week. And it's a big piece of TRC. And it's, as you'll see, it sounds like you're open to the whole thing, and that's wonderful. And I think almost everybody will be. Some folks, they struggle a little bit with creating business partnerships and then leveraging them, because the process for doing that historically has just been really not easy to do. It's not easy to do, and it required time commitment and things like that. So we've simplified everything on that front, and I think you'll be very happy with it, and it'll help you quite a bit. So hopefully that, I don't have anything specific for you today, but starting Tuesday, we'll have a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, for me, the reason why I'm in this program with you guys, because I recognize that there is, I'm 26 and I've been in business for just over 2 years. So we have 2 gyms and 300 members. This business has been built on the back of a good brand and a good niche and great Facebook marketing, but that's not something that's going to last. And I know that. And I can feel it in my bones. And I've already been through 2 or 3 cycles where if your ads aren't working or if Facebook changes the game or if anything like that happens, then you're just, I feel like so one-dimensional. So I recognize that everything that's in this program is just a complete stretch for me. It's forcing me way out of my comfort zone, but I'm definitely on board with it. It's just the application of it is overwhelming at the moment. But it's the new year, and that's why. It's good problems.
No doubt. You got a lot going on right now, that's for sure. And you got a lot going on all year round, but this time particularly is a little bit troubling. But I got to commend you, man, for number one, being so young. I mean, that's crazy. When I think of when I was 26 years old, I was sitting in a bar somewhere. I mean, really, that's, you know, I had no direction. But so I commend you for that. And also for the number of clients you got going already. So you got a solid business, but also most importantly of all, recognizing that you want to grow and taking the steps to move forward, to grow, you know, and to give yourself greater stability in your business. I just remember one of the lessons I've never forgotten from way back early days. One of my first exposures to Dan Kennedy was talking about the loneliest number in marketing is 1. You know, when you're strictly reliant on one method to attract clients, you put yourself in a dangerous situation. And so it's good that you recognize that and you're taking steps to diversify and give yourself stability through that diversification.
Yeah, definitely. It's scary when you don't have it.
Oh yeah, no, I hear you. All right. Hey guys, I see Billy's here. Wayne's here. I thought there was somebody else here, but no. Okay. Wayne, growing a beard.
Camera.
It looks good.
I took off a couple weeks.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's good.
Actually, my business, because of a lot of the reasons that you guys are helping me do, is I'm going to be able to, end of this month, go full-time in my gym business and part-time in police work.
Awesome. Wow.
That's fantastic, man. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Wayne, just looking at you and, you know, the way you hold yourself, your demeanor and your the way you deliver when you talk. My brother's a career Navy guy. He's a Navy captain. And so I hang out with him quite a bit with a lot of other military guys. You totally have that demeanor.
Hey, what's
I know you're a police officer. You have a military background as well?
Yeah, I was in the military.
Yeah, all right. It shows through. Billy, you're in a quiet place.
Yes, finally.
Oh.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right, good. I got this recording, so I'm just I didn't do the housekeeping yet, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. And there is none. No, just what I really want to do. I don't have any specific housekeeping, but what I want to do is just. And Camelia recommended this. Camelia's my wife, for those of you who don't know, and she's just a fantastic business coach. And so she coaches me free of charge, which is nice. That she's always reminding me of the little things that are so important to do. And one of them that she commented on regarding these calls is to do a quick review of what we just released, and so we can discuss that in case there are specific questions as to that content. Of course, we can talk about anything, but so I just want to quickly mention this past Tuesday, we released the checklist, the daily, weekly, monthly checklist, and that is really a core piece of the referral challenge and something that I hope everybody will adapt, as I mentioned in the training, adapt to your business. Maybe there won't need to be much adaptation, but the key is to hold yourself and your business accountable, and those are the primary tools for doing that. So there's really a tremendous amount of value in consistently using those checklists. And it's always hard in the beginning whenever you're starting something new. I'll just show you this. Camellia got me this great gift, and this is actually something we're gonna probably set up. It's black, so you can't really see it here, but it's called a Passion Planner, and it's from passionplanner.com. But it's just like a day. It's like a day planner, but it's got all these neat. There's a bunch of neat stuff in it. But so I journal all the time, and I take I write like crazy. I mean, I got notes everywhere. But for me now, it's a process of trying to organize everything into the Passion Planner, and that is so it's a new skill, a new habit that I've got to develop, and it's always a little tricky. I'm hit or miss so far, but I'm dialing it in. So I've just mentioned that because it's similar to exactly what needs to be done with those checklists. Just got to dial it in. Make yourself use them on a daily basis. So that's that. And then the second piece was the Greatest Gift campaign that Aaron put together, which is just as sweet as can be in so many ways. The issue that's come up, we had a question from Fred Zoller earlier about direct mail, and he's like, well, I'm not really big on using direct mail, and I've been successful without it. What do I need to do it? And so my answer to that question is no, you absolutely don't need to do direct mail. It's just, but to get back to like the conversation I was just having with Dathan about diversification, is that if you're strictly reliant on email and online marketing, yeah, it works great and it's dirt cheap. I mean, and so it's beautiful and you absolutely should do it. But you also, in my opinion and in Aaron's opinion, and I think in the opinion of most marketers who've been around and really understand what's going on and know how to get maximum results, will tell you that utilizing multiple mediums will always have a greater impact. Yeah, it is a little bit more labor intensive. It can be a little bit more costly, but that's an investment and it needs to be viewed as such. But the bottom line is it'll give you better results if you go offline and on, use both. But the point is, we know you guys are busy. You got a lot going on. You're doing a lot already. And we're not trying to overwhelm or try and encourage you to do something that just doesn't work right now. And then you get frustrated and pissed off at us and, whatever. We don't want that to happen. We want you to, but we are always going to educate you because that's our job and provide you with the best possible solutions that we can. One other comment on that, and then and I know Aaron might have something to say too. Regarding the business card idea that Aaron built into that campaign, when he told me about that, I was like, dude, that is the shizzle. I mean, it's just such a solid idea. And what we've got to do now is just work out the logistics behind it, figure out a way to create cards like that at a reasonable cost and quickly. And so we're going to look into some solutions. But I think you should seriously consider doing it. Aaron, do you want to talk about that real quick and maybe about why it's such a valuable strategy?
Sure. But to preempt that, back to housekeeping, one of the things I'd like to request, Eric, is that you never wear an Ole Miss shirt again. Make it an Alabama shirt, all right? Just for emotional stability's sake, all right?
I'm going to wear a Clemson shirt, brother.
Thanks for nothing.
I mean, Aaron lives in Alabama, for those of you who don't know.
Funny. And secondly, back to the checklist. I wish everybody would get this book right here. It's called the Checklist Manifesto. You should get it and read it. This is, to Eric's point, it's fun to read. It's interesting as it can be. But I'm going to read you just a quick segment out of it. And to frame it, I want you to understand that he's talking about hospitals right now and airports, right? And the need that they have to have for checklists. It says, yet it is far from obvious that something as simple as a checklist could be of substantial help. We may admit that errors, oversights occur, even devastating ones, but we believe our jobs are too complicated to reduce to checklists. Sick people, for instance, are phenomenally more various than airplanes. A study of 41,000 trauma patients in the state of Pennsylvania, just trauma patients, found that they had 1,224 different injury-related diagnoses and 32,261 unique combinations. That's like having 32,261 kinds of airplane to land. Mapping out the proper steps for every case is not possible, and physicians have been skeptical that a piece of paper with a bunch of little boxes can improve matters. All right, and that's the kind of information in here about how hospitals universally across the country have reduced their processes to simple checklists. And that's the power of Eric's checklist format or module that he put out. All right, now back to the greatest thank you gift ever. First of all, before I go on, any of you guys have any questions on that?
Very sensitive.
All right, so I'll just quickly, 30 seconds, then just say, look, I mean, it's all about the experience of your client. All about gratitude coming from you. We'll give you the greatest thank you gift we could possibly give, right? And depending on how your margins are and whether or not you can do it, I mean, if I were to ask you if I could trade you 1 month for a client for a year, you would say absolutely. You bring me as many of those as you can bring me, and we'll trade off. And as I put in my Facebook post today, when we opened up Iron Tribe, a guy by the name of Chuck, every month he was bringing something. He didn't pay for the first 16 months. He didn't pay a dime, but he brought us 16 clients. And so if you can do that, that's what this whole campaign is built around, is that. Right?
Yeah, but Aaron, and that's beautiful. What about the business card? Just talk about, what you shared with me the other day when you and I were talking about it.
Right. And again, it goes right back to the experience, the wow factor. When you have a person who joins, right? They walk in and they join. When are they most excited? At the beginning. When is the honeymoon the greatest? Well, on the honeymoon, right? A year later, well, life's kind of settled in. So you want to leverage that natural enthusiasm out of the gate. If it was me, I would definitely have built into my marketing budget these cards going into as part of my advertising budget, because it's such a nominal fee. I mean, it's as I demonstrated, or I guess I put this in the video, so I'll say it here. When I began to work with Paul Fetters of the Training Spot in California, he has 3 locations, and he has an upper demographic. I mean, he charges a lot of money. They have $500 or $750 per month personal training services in small group environments, and the guy's paying me thousands of dollars. I mean, to write newspaper pieces. I mean, things like this, 20 pages, the thousands of dollars to write this thing, and then an additional thousands of dollars to have it printed, and then an additional thousands of dollars to mail it. This guy was into this thing, I don't know how much, but 15 grand easy, right? Well, it generated about $120,000 in business, right? And so you'll take that all day long, right? But unless you want to spend $15,000 on me writing you a newspaper piece, spend, $20 for a box of cards and give it to the person who's got the most leverage in your business. That's your current clients, right? And for cost, I mean, I don't know. I know we had 26 clients come through the door off that newspaper piece initially. And so cost per lead, I haven't done it, but it's going to be, a lot. And but on this end, cost per lead is the cost of the cards. Geez, I mean, it's magic. And if you can create the energy and the enthusiasm, you know what selling is? It's a transference of my conviction to you. It's a transference of my passions to you. That's what selling is. And if you can take a credit card and hand it off to your clients and transfer your passion and conviction around it, they're going to buy in. And the more they buy in, the more cards they'll give out. So you've given them 500 opportunities to hand to a client. 500, right? With a single client. Will they use them all? Absolutely not. Will they use 10? Maybe. But what if they gave you one? $20 to get a year client off of $20. I mean, this is a no-brainer. Guys, no-brainer.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I think, as I mentioned, we'll look into some solutions in terms of logistics that hopefully make everything simple and easy, you know, maybe create a template and things like that. I don't know, but we'll look into it a little bit more. But the thing that, you know, in addition to everything Aaron just said, which is great, the thing that I love so much about it is that it's like this client who you've had for, you know, maybe a week or two, and you're sitting down and having a talk with them, and you're saying, hey, we have this culture here, and clearly you've bought into it and you believe in it, and you feel, you know, inspired by it, and it's helping you, and you're, you know, motivated and passionate. Is that right? And they're going to be like, oh yeah, I love it. And it's, well, you know, we'd just like to make you a full partner in the business, basically, or not, I wouldn't say full partner, but we want you to strengthen the relationship even more and empower you to help other people just like you. And this is one of the ways we can do it. And then you hand them the card and they're like, wow, you know, I'm like an official partner of the business or something like that. It solidifies that bond so much. It just makes things so much stronger. They're like, wow, you're trusting me to do this kind of thing. And you put my name on a business card. It's just the psychology of it is significant. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. I'm not trying to beat this horse, but yeah, go ahead, Wayne.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up. I haven't finished going through exactly what the program is, but you just mentioned, I guess, a key part of it was printing cards with their name on it.
Yeah, they're business cards. You'll see in week 5 deliverables, Aaron created a campaign called The Greatest Gift, and one of the elements of that campaign is you're saying to the client, hey, you know, we'll print these business cards with your name on it that you can give out. You can give out basically a referral gift just using your your business card, the business card that you have for your business, Wayne. Instead of it saying Wayne Salter on it, it would say, you know, whatever the client's name is and their designation. What I think Aaron came up with a couple neat titles. What were those titles, Aaron? Like advocate?
Yeah.
Yeah, no big deal. But they're neat titles for the client. And so it's like they're almost have an official position within your business, and that position is referral advocate, essentially.
Yeah, authorized referral partner or authorized referral advocate. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think it's something that we should all collectively seriously consider and look into, test. It's a very inexpensive test. And just see what kind of feedback you get from your clients, what kind of impact it has on them. And but yeah, that's it, Wayne. It's covered in the most recent release.
Yeah. I downloaded it. I just haven't opened it and gone through it yet or finished the video. So what kind of rewards is that person getting for someone using that card?
Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can determine that. You know what I would suggest is that you come up with, you know, an evergreen type offer, and that's what we had in the referral rewards SOP, where you determine what your client value is, and I gave you a sort of a formula for figuring out basically what your referral offer should be. But I think that could be it. And you're just saying, hey, you know, so let's just say it's $50 or $100, whatever it is. Or it could be the offer that Aaron articulated in that specific campaign, the Greatest Gift campaign, which is a even more generous offer. Now, but I think folks tend to balk, and by folks I mean you guys tend to balk when you see that how big that gift can be, and you're thinking, geez, you know, is that even workable for me? And so you need to determine that based on, again, following that formula I gave you in the referral rewards SOP. Determine what your average client value is, and then take in general about 10% of that and use it as a or it's not that simplistic. Just look at the formula; it breaks it all down for you, because you got to subtract overhead and all that stuff. But you come up with a number that is representative, essentially, of what you can afford to give away as a referral reward. and the point that we're trying to drive home as strongly as possible throughout Referral Challenge is that ultimately this is the cheapest way. If you compare it, and if you run all your numbers from all your other marketing, you will find, I'd be surprised if you don't, that referral marketing is the cheapest marketing you will ever do. And on top of that, you get the best quality client. So it's hard not to win. But the answer, Wayne, that's a long answer to your short question. But a shorter answer is whatever you want it to be, whatever you want that reward to be.
Yeah, and if I don't know if you've been over on the TRC Facebook page recently, Wayne, but I would suggest that I would encourage you to jump over there and take a look, because I've got the business cards mocked up in a thread on there so that you can see. But as a final note on that, I hope everybody will take away the whole point, the psychology behind it is the delight of the customer and giving them an ego boost, right? So they receive these cards, they feel special because you've thought enough of them to include their name on your business cards, but you've also given them power, right? And when you've given somebody power, well, they want to exercise it. And so the power comes in the idea, and as you'll see on a mock-up, it says referring my friend, and it gives a place for them to write out their name, their friend's name. Okay, so you write out the friend's name on the card, and then they get to choose 1 workout, 2 workouts, or 3 workouts that your customer, your referrer, they have the power to say, I'm giving you 1 workout, or I'm giving you 3 workouts, right? And so not only psychologically do they feel included, they have the ability to hand out a sophisticated, well thought out business card that grants them power. It's subtle and it's underlying, and they won't recognize it as that. But that's what marketing is. That's what copy is. That's what relationships are, is how you make somebody feel. And so that's my rant.
Yeah. No short answers here, Wayne. You ask a question, you're going to get 20 minutes back.
Well, I'm here.
Anything else specifically, Wayne? Any questions regarding any other things that are going on?
No, not specifically, no.
All right, great. What about you, Billy? Anything we can help you with?
Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah.
So hopefully it won't be 20 minutes, but if it is, then that's fine. It's slightly embarrassing, but lifetime value of a customer, we were dabbling with this past year, just trying to figure out that exact number. And I think our issue was fortunately, we have a lot of clients that have been with us forever. They've been with us since we started, for 5-6 years. And who knows, they may stay on for 20 years. So we know that's a good thing. But what's the simplest way to figure out what the lifetime client value is? The mathematical formula: our average member pays $199 a month, and they stay X amount of time. That to me is the answer. But how do you calculate it when you have people that have been on forever, and that's going to continue, and then you have other people that obviously stay on for different lengths of time? I want to know that number, and I don't, and I want to.
Yeah. Great question. And let's clear the air right now. So here's how you do it. You absolutely have to take into consideration those people who have been with you for 5 years or 8 years or however long you've been around, because they are there for a reason, and that reason is that you give value and deliver for them, and that you've built a relationship with them. So they have to be factored in, because the assumption must be that you're going to find other people like that as you continue through your career. These people are not isolated. Yeah, they're going to be the minority, but you've already proven you can do it one time, so the odds are you're going to do it again. So you have to factor them in. And this is the same way all analytics is done, is that you have to, I don't even know the proper terms. I need to get my 17-year-old daughter in here, who's a math whiz, to give us all the proper terms. But so here's what you do. You if you've got a fairly simplified deliverables in terms of the products, let's say, as you mentioned, you've got everybody's on a $199 per month plan. Let's say.
I could easily get the average. So let's just say that that's what it is.
Good. So all right. So that's what you need to do. Then, and so from there, what you need to do also is just get the average annual or average lifetime. So you've got the value. Now you just need the average lifetime. So you take all your clients and you say, you got whatever, 5 that have been there for 8 years and everybody else has been there for a year. And you just take the average of that and you multiply those two averages and there you have it.
So when I'm actually doing this, let's just say for argument's sake, I have 100 clients. 20 of them have been with me for 5 years. 20 of them have been with me for 3 years, 22 years, 21 years. And then there's some that maybe started last month and they will ultimately stay longer, but only because we're doing this formula at this point in time, they're only going to be on board for 1 month. So is that how you do it? You take the average of every current client and how long they've been there, whether it's 1 month or 5 years, and you take that average and you times it by the average monthly ticket. Is that the?
Yeah, that's what I would do, because the folks that have, if you just signed up a bunch of people, here's where you've got to be careful, because it is January. Let's say if you just signed up a bunch of people and they've only been with you 2 weeks or whatever, I would not incorporate them into the calculation, because they're going to skew the calculation in a way that will make it inaccurate. I would say if it was June now of 2017 and you just signed up a bunch of people, I would say go ahead and use that, because maybe that's indicative of what happens to you year round. But because of the time of year, I would throw those people out. So I'd take everybody from, let's say your starting point is, who was with you through the end of December 2016, something like that, because it doesn't need to be perfect, but you want it to be as close as you.
Okay, that's where I was going wrong. Is trying to be perfect. So somebody who can't, if 5 people quit on December 27th, they're not included, because it's only the people that are current now, minus anybody who came in January and their average length of time. Is that correct?
Yeah, don't get too anal about it. So yeah, because, and I have the same tendency, you want to be as accurate as possible, but you also need to take into consideration some factors, and because you don't want to get a skewed number. So what you might do is a couple different calculations. You might do everybody, take the average of everybody, including the people you just signed up, and then you might take those people that you just signed up off and then get that average and just compare those numbers and see. And you should have a sense of it too, based on your, if it looks off or if it looks wacky. If it's let's say $1,000 in one calculation, then it's $400 in another calculation, then there's something that's throwing this thing off.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, when do they get this?
Yeah, they got that. That's in the and that's a good resource. That's in that has a lot of helpful calculations in it. That is the marketing math. I'm looking right now.
First or second week.
Yeah, first or second week. That's right. I think it's with signage. I'm pretty sure it's with signage in week 1. Let me check here. Yeah, I got to look at that's all zipped up, so I got to look somewhere else.
I'll find it.
Yeah, but it is. I'm almost positive it's with signage, but let me just double check here.
Hey, Eric, while you're checking, this is Tony.
Hey, Tony.
I just want to throw something in there that I do sometimes. And so once again, this is not an exact thing, but it'll kind of give you an idea. So if you've been in business for 5 years and say, if you know that you've had 1,000 clients, so I'm just making up numbers because it's easy for math for Marines here. Okay. So if you've had 1,000 clients over the 5 years and your studio's done $1 million in sales in those 5 years, your average is $1,000 of income per person. Okay. So then just real easy, average $1,000. I know I can afford to spend, $50 to $100 to get somebody in the door. If my fast average for my 5 years in business is $1,000 per person that's been in my doors.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That a very simple, as Tony said, math for Marines calculation. I like that. That's great.
So Tony, I'm sorry. So
yes, sir.
So you would say it would be every client we've had over the 5 years. If they've came and gone, it's just everybody in the last 5 years, and then you get the total revenue for all 5 years. And what's the formula?
So if I just take the total revenue for the 5 years divided by the total number of clients I've had, I can find out just a quick average amount of revenue per client that's come in there. So like I said, it's not going to be, I mean, for that particular equation, it's simple, it's exact. You know, there are going to be better numbers, you know, depending on what you're wanting to do with it. But for just a quick simple equation, you know, you'll kind of have a number to work with at least.
Good. Yeah, good. I'll do both of those.
Yeah, and that's a great idea. Do both and compare them and see. You know, this is one of the big secrets to being effective business owner, a really good business owner, is digging into your numbers and really getting comfortable with the numbers. It's not a whole lot of fun until you start getting those aha moments and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You start seeing how it's literally like pulling back a curtain on your business. And once you dig in, you start seeing some things and you can spot trends, and it helps you in so many ways.
Yeah, I'm excited about improving in that area. So if there's a little bit of a follow-up, if the answer is in the marketing math document, then that's fine. But along the same line of marketing cost per client acquisition per client, you know, we do different things. We do Facebook ads. We do different funnels. I'm assuming my starting point is figuring out my total cost. I don't know if the right term is cost per lead or I guess cost per lead. So I'm assuming I would just like add up how much I spend for every different marketing channel. And then what's the basic formula for getting that number? I'm assuming ultimately I want to know all the individual cost per lead for Facebook, cost per lead for you know, whatever it is that we're doing. But I think the first thing I want is the overall number, which I don't have either. I know it's good, and I know that's a bad answer, but I do want to. I want to know this stuff better.
Yeah, that's like when the doctor asks the cardiac patient, "How's your heart?" He says, "Oh, it's good." Okay, so determining customer acquisition cost is best done by campaign. Okay, you're going to get much more accurate numbers if you do it by campaign. So you take your Facebook campaign, let's say, for example, and you just look at your total spend. So whatever you spent for that campaign, the campaign ran for 2 weeks and you spent $500 on it, and you divide that by how many customers you acquired. So say you got 10 customers. Then you know your customer acquisition cost is $50. Okay, so that's one. Now you want cost per lead?
So that would be, those customers is defined by actual members that sign up, right?
Yes, customer acquisition cost, somebody who's committed and paid. Yep.
And then I'm assuming for leads, it's the same formula, just divided by the total number of leads from that campaign.
Exactly. And so how do you define a lead?
It would be the way we do it now. A lead is anybody who shows real interest, meaning that they contact us, they walk in the door, they email us, they respond to a form.
Perfect. Yeah, they need to take some action in order to be a lead. They've got to be proactive in some way, raise their hand, say I'm interested.
If I'm doing I guess this is a little bit of a gray area. If I'm doing like building my list, I'm not really looking to convert them to clients. I'm looking to build my list. I'm doing a lead magnet. All that's required is an email. As the way we do it now, like in our, in our follow-up, we don't put those in our leads. We track them, and we know that our list is building by X amount per week, but we don't count them as leads. That's just the way we've been doing it, I guess. If you're really doing cost per lead, I guess that should be included.
I would say absolutely yes. And I'll tell you another thing that you need to seriously consider is what you just said to me, that when you're building your list, you should never be doing any activity, in my opinion, that it does not have that you're not not immediately, but almost immediately trying to monetize.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, particularly because with you guys, unlike in the online space, like where I operate, if you're unique and you have some good information, you can attract a lead, and then and even if we try and monetize them quickly, but even if we can't, they might stay on and continue to listen to us because we have a unique perspective and ideas. And the same thing can happen offline in brick and mortar world, but it's harder to do because there's so many, particularly in the fitness area, they're being bombarded with all this different stuff. So if you look at, for example, the crystal ball autoresponder sequence, that's designed to try and convert that lead almost as quickly as you possibly can. You absolutely need to build a relationship. You need to make that effort, provide information, nurture to some degree, but also try and convert the lead, not beat them over the head, but make an offer, relatively quickly. So I mention that because I want you to do a little paradigm shift there and start thinking that every person that opts in, that comes in, you should be trying to convert in some way within a couple days. Get them while they're hot, because the reason they opted in is because they want some information now, and if they want that information, the likelihood is they want a solution right away.
That's a good point. So that helps tremendously. So the way we do things now is we have like a lead tracking system. It's just basic. It's basic spreadsheet, and all the leads go in there. And because we're following up with phone calls, they're on that list. The other ones, they should, and we don't always do it, they should get a personal email, not an autoresponder, like somebody who opts in for, let's say, the crystal ball. But then they do get the offers and stuff like that. So we do try to convert them. I just wasn't considering them leads, which now I realize I probably should.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that. Consider them leads. But I like the fact that you're trying to touch them from a different medium. I mean, the medium's the same. It's email, but through a personal email versus just the autoresponder too, and the phone call if you can. That's beautiful.
Yeah, depending on how big that list is, how many what we would call thinking it over clients who at one point in time made some kind of inquiry but didn't take a second step, right? So instead of calling them a dead lead, we just call them thinking it over, right? They just need more convincing. They need a better offer. They need something to inspire them, right? And so then you create one-off campaigns for those guys periodically throughout the year, right? Like, I put on Facebook today, I wrote Anna Doyer a Cyber Monday campaign, and off of that was mailed out to those guys. And she has years of backed up emails of people that inquired but didn't, and it cost her nothing but the email to send it out, and she got 62 clients.
Yeah, it's so nice. And it goes to show you the importance of list segmentation, which, again, it can get a little bit in the weeds sometimes, but it's something that you should be thinking about and working towards in your marketing is segmenting those folks to the best of your ability so you can speak to them specifically. As Aaron just said, when he sends out a campaign like that, if you've got a group of 100 leads of people that have been with you for 6 months and haven't purchased anything for you, you can speak to them in a very different way, and you can address that. You can go, hey, I know you've been on my list for a little while, and you've hopefully been reading my emails, and I hope you've been appreciating them, that kind of thing. But you know what? I'm just curious why you haven't moved forward with us, because I've shown you all the proof and all these things. So you can just cater your message to your market, and that's really a big marketing secret, as Dan Kennedy would say. It's that message to market match. It's huge.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely something I wanna do.
All right, cool. Hey Tony, is there anything we can help you with?
At this time, nothing specific. No, the biggest thing, I just need to pick one step right now and launch it. So I'm going through everything, making the modifications that we need. And so for me, it's just a matter of, okay, pick the first thing and take some action. So we've got a lot of little things going on right now. We've had a lot of good things going on, but it's just the next step for me.
All right, sounds good. Well, I know you got your hands full with your 10,000 members. Tony's running a crazy sized business, so he's got a lot.
10,000 members?
Yeah, I think.
I'm in more of a club setting. So yeah, we've got 4 locations, about 18,000 members, and so they're not all they're gym members. They're not all personal training clients, but it's a huge pool to fish in. So we're really fine tuning our internal marketing right now, and got some big goals there, and we got some processes that we've really improved already to start this year, which is nice. I mean, for example, next Tuesday, I've got 6 consults on my book that I didn't talk to any of them. So we've just smoothed out the process between a first point of contact person at the gym, immediately getting them set up and then to my schedule. So we're improving our process there.
Beautiful.
So if we can get this referral challenge stuff tied in as well, I mean, the opportunity is huge.
Yeah. All right, very good.
So I really like this business card idea because pretty much all of our new members should meet with me like within 48 hours of joining the gym, and then again a week later. So it's a perfect setup for when they come back at the end of that first week and they've met with me. We've set a plan for the week. They've done a couple trial workouts with the trainer. They've tried one of our group classes. Come back to see me again to see how things are going so far. That would be a perfect time to hand them those cards.
That's awesome. So we'll keep looking for a solution, a good printing solution.
Right.
But if you find one, or if anybody finds one, do share. Yeah.
I will ask, because we have a couple of clients locally that have printing businesses here in town, so I can get some general ideas on what a good number of cards would be. So like if each week we give them a list of names to just make the change on the front of the card, and we got the general layout already designed. All they have to do is, print 100 of this name, 100 of this name, but we're still ordering, 1,000, 2,000 cards at a time. We might be able to get a pretty decent price break there. But I'll get some input from people that do that for a living and come back to you guys with options.
That would be awesome, Tony. Thank you very much. And that's a great idea. I didn't even think of that. Because with all the digital printing that they do these days, you can use different names. You don't have to make them all
right. Yeah, so you wouldn't need to give 500 cards to one person necessarily. You still want to give them a good size stack, because you don't want them just give them 3 or just give them 10 or something like that. But you can hand somebody 50 cards. It wouldn't be quite as overwhelming to them, and it would still, if you're combining it with anywhere from 5 to 10 to 30 names depending on your week, you can still bring the cost of printing down.
No doubt. That's awesome.
And while we're at it, Tony, I mean,
yes, sir.
And this for everybody for that matter, but when you get your proof back from the printer, because they will send you a proof, right?
All right.
If you approve that, if everything's good, then you need to get them, that is the printer, to send you a digital copy, or you take a screenshot from your computer.
Right.
Because people may want to email their friends with this offer, right?
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And so you'll want to make sure you have a digital copy of it for email purposes.
Okay. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right. Let me check with Jeff. Jeff, is there anything we can do for you? Any questions you got, or?
No, I mean, we're actually, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. No, we're actually going to start to dive into this, all of it, 100% full speed in about 10 days. We're launching our precision nutrition right now. So once that rock is crushed and completed, then we're going to dive into this. That's the second rock on Colleen's list. So we're going to, I just partnered with a charity. It's a cancer charity for childhood cancer. I met with them yesterday. They were blown away by what we want to do. They were very intrigued by the Facebook check-in. They asked what they expected in return, or what I expect in return from them. And I said, nothing. I just want to give. And they were just like, really? So yeah, it's going to be really cool. So we're going to tie all of that in with the charity. I'm going to put the monitors up like Fred. I'm going to steal that idea. not going to take it. I'm going to steal it, and then all the signage and everything. And yeah, I'm excited. We're going to crush this thing in the next after 10 days. So just bear with me.
We will do, brother. And thanks for your input. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. And yes, steal Fred's idea. Fred is an idea machine, and I think just a machine in general. Frankly, I think he's an android. The guy,
he's a cyborg.
Yeah, cyborg, right? That's the right word. It's quite impressive, all the stuff that guy gets done. But Jeff, one thing I would mention to you, since they clearly and generously and correctly, in my opinion, asked, what do you want from them, the charity that is. I think it's wonderful the way you responded, and I think after a couple months of you making donations to them, that would be a perfect time to come back and say, hey, you had asked me before what I want, and I thought, now maybe we could talk about some things, and maybe we could talk about doing some joint press releases, or doing some additional things, maybe them emailing their list about you or something, maybe a charity workout that you're doing or something like that. But anyway, just keep in mind that you want to try and leverage that partnership too in a strategic way going forward.
Oh yeah, I will. I just want to plant the seed first. I want to give tremendous value. I offered there's the parents that were affected. Obviously, their child died of brain cancer, and they set up this foundation. And so I offered the parents to come in for 6 months of free training, and then I'm going to try to get, there's 4 board members not board members, but 4 members that operate the organization. I'm going to offer them to come in during our slow times for free as well for 6 months. So just to give to that organization, and then just build a tremendous amount of value. And then, down the road, we'll definitely do some strategic things.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't you just love the coaching world? These guys are the heart on you guys are just. I mean, we work with the greatest people. Yeah, it's true. I've worked on a few other industries, and you don't. It's not like this. I mean, there's good people in every industry, but I think there's a lot of good people in the fitness industry. There's no doubt about it. And I think it's because I think we work so hard. We try and people in the fitness industry are always, you're trying to. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. I've got ideas on it, but that's a long conversation. All right, so let's go around one more time. Anything else that's come up? Wayne, any other questions, ideas? Yeah.
2 things. I don't remember the exact benefits or how Fred's monitors work. I remember it had something to do with taking some of his members who had businesses and putting some type of ad on the screen, but I can't remember the whole gist of it. Can you, a couple sentences, touch on that?
I'll give you just a couple sentences. I'll be concise. He did the simplest thing you could possibly do. He went to, based on what I can see, you have to ask him specifically, but the pictures and images that I saw and the things that he said, he basically went to these people and said, hey, would you like to advertise with me? They said yes. He said, good, give me your business card or an ad that you've already created. And he just digitized that, or maybe they gave him a digital version of it, and he just put that up. So there was no work, minimal work on his part. He just took a digital image and put it up, and it's static. It's not dynamic. There's no talking. There's the
members of his
of the businesses. Yeah, is that what you were asking about? The businesses that are advertising with him?
Yes, it's businesses of his members, correct?
Right.
Well, they're not all his members. They're not all his. Some are just local businesses that know he's got 400 members and they want to get the exposure in front of them. So okay. Some are members, some are not. Frankly, there's so much that can be done with that, and I could go on and on, but that would violate my few sentences clause.
You've already said 3 sentences.
Yeah, I know. All right, what's the other?
I do have one more thing. I've been trying to, we've got the check-in posters all over talking about checking in for charity. And if I let more than half a day go by without going to the Facebook page and hitting activity to look at the check-ins, the only thing I ever see, it says 20 plus. Like if it goes more than 20, it just says 20 plus. So I've got to remember to check it more often so I can see if it's less than 20, it's accurate. But I can't figure out any other way to wait till the end of the day, or maybe let 2 days go by and then look at it. Otherwise, it just says 20 plus. Has anybody else found out anything else?
Billy, any insight on that from your experience?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Okay, then I'll tell you the guy to ask is Fred. Because he's doing it and he's having everybody tag him, and I know he's getting a lot of check-ins because he's got a lot of members. So Wayne, I would just suggest posting that question on Facebook and tag Fred in it. Who else is doing a lot of check-ins right now? Didn't somebody just make a post about it? Oh, Matt Marcinek. Aaron, you commented on his post, I think. Hold on. I'm going to check right now. I'll give you, because there is a post about that, or not about your specific question, Wayne, but Mike Marcinek, sorry. He says here, very late with this, lots of engagement with the check-in campaign, over 200 check-ins in the month of January so far. So he's gotten 200 check-ins in 13 days. So clearly that's a guy, Wayne, to reach out to as well. Mike Marcinek.
Okay.
And just tag him and tag Fred on your post, and you'll get an answer.
Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Anything else, Wayne?
No.
All right, cool.
Good, thanks.
Billy, anything else?
No,
Eric, this is Jeff.
But respecting of our time, I'll hold off till next time.
All right, cool. Yeah, Jeff, go ahead.
With regard to the Facebook check-ins, we haven't done that yet. Obviously, we're going to dive into that, but it sounds like he's having them tag him, so that means that he would have to be a friend with them on Facebook. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so I have a handful of my clients I'm friends with on Facebook, but not the majority. So I would have to first.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No. I would have to first invite them as a friend.
Yeah, they can tag your business page too.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Tag your business page is an option. But I'll tell you what, Jeff, it depends on your sort of take on how you want to do business. But I from what I've seen, a lot of the folks that are really getting extraordinary results on Facebook have friended their clients. They are friends with their clients. And so that's part of the Facebook one post a day SOP. You'll see we advocate that you friend all your clients. But it's your choice how you want to do it, because as Wayne said, you can have them tag your business page as well.
Yeah, I don't have a problem doing it. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Well, then with that, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Billy, if you're sure, we'll wait. If not, I'm happy to answer a question now.
No, because it's like it could be a longer one.
Okay.
What's the schedule? Next week, same deal?
Same deal. Yeah, same deal. Tuesday we release, and we're doing the partner stuff, releasing that on Tuesday. It's going to be sweet. And then Friday, call. But if you've got a particular, shoot me a PM or something if it's in depth.
My question is something I'm very excited about and interested in, but it's not urgent. It's something I definitely want to get your thoughts on, but it's more of like a annual kind of planning kind of question.
Okay, got it. Well, shoot it to me if you want in a PM or an email or something, and I can run it by Camellia too if it's more big picture type stuff.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up then. Thank you all very much. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on Facebook.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.